Hello everyone, welcome. Today I am so excited because I am collaborating with Lisa Stevens and I just feel like one of my biggest YouTube dreams has come true. I've mentioned her a couple of times on my channel and I was always like, I don't think she would ever watch me or know who I am, and things changed and she actually asked if I would like to collab with her and I immediately said yes. Like, I don't even care what the topic is, what she wants to do. She wants to collab with me. I am all in. So I'm very excited. She's an amazing YouTuber. I highly recommend her channel if for some reason you haven't already heard of her and you're not already watching her. Today we are both going to be talking about products that we will never ever declutter. So this is really exciting for me because there are some products I have that have a little bit of a history attached to them. So I thought that I would take this opportunity to talk about these products that I love so much and why I will never ever declutter them. So the first thing I will mention is the Urban Decay Electric palette. This probably comes as no surprise to most people. I don't think most of these things will come as a real surprise. But this is one of my absolute favorite eyeshadow palettes that has now been discontinued. This is a beautiful palette of bright, bold colors. This is the first colorful eyeshadow palette that I had, and it really helped inspire me to play around with color, to just have fun with makeup, and to really discover what was so wonderful about it. And it just really lit this fire in me when I could start playing around with different colors. Like, I was doing like a pink and purple and green and blue and, well, green and blue. I just had so much fun creating stuff with this assortment of shadows. I remember going out with bright colorful eyeshadow on and people stopping me and being like, oh my god, I love your eyeshadow. And it really changed me. I bought this eyeshadow palette right around the time when it first came out because I thought it looked pretty and I didn't really know how much I was going to use it, but I have used it a fair amount, especially considering all the other stuff I ended up buying over the years. I've had this one for a long time. It definitely doesn't perform anywhere near as well as it did when I first got it a couple of years ago. I'm starting to reach for it less and less because I'm not as impressed with the quality just because it's old. I already have had it for longer than I technically should have, so I'm not surprised that it doesn't perform as well. But I will never ever get rid of it just because it makes me so happy just looking at it. Even if I did get rid of all of the shadows in here, just the packaging alone makes me so happy, and I just love holding it. Like, it really brings those positive, colorful, happy vibes and just makes me feel more of myself again. And it just really reminds me of how much my love of makeup has grown over the years. So I'm also going to mention this one right at the very beginning because this is something that I've recently changed my mind on. So I'm sure a lot of people were expecting to see this palette, the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette. Now, with all the controversy that's come out recently with Kat Von D, I have to admit I can't see myself using Kat Von D products anymore. I'm not going to go into it too much because that's not what this video is about, but this is a palette that I really do like looking at because it's a color wheel. It really inspires me to play around with different color combinations. Do I think I'm going to keep it forever and never declutter it? No. If you asked me this 2 weeks ago, the answer would have been yes. Things have changed. For those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm referring to, long story short, Kat Von D announced that she's not going to be vaccinating her child, something I really do not agree with. As a mom, my son is up to date with his vaccines. I don't understand her choice, and I don't know how it can be a choice, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so I will very likely be getting rid of this palette at some point. I do like looking at it even if I'm not using it, just for inspiration's sake. I really like looking up color swatches. I love looking up color wheels. I love looking at the like artistic side of colors and, you know, different pairings. And it's nice to have something in front of me that I can look at. And, you know, I was always swatching this palette to be like, what kind of combination goes together? It's something that really inspires me a lot, something that I'm very, very passionate about. Sometimes you just have to let go of things, as hard as it may be, when things change. So just to make sure things are clear, that is not a product I will never declutter. To stick with eyeshadows, I will mention these two from Too Faced, the Chocolate Gold palette and the Just Peachy Mattes, but these also just represent some general Too Faced products for me, because Too Faced sent me some stuff, and it's incredibly humbling, but it also makes me really proud because I've put so much work into my channel. I've poured myself into it, and to have received a couple of things from a brand that I'm really fond of means so much. I would never, ever, ever get rid of this stuff, regardless of if I finish it all. Like if this palette was completely empty, I would still keep it, just because it makes me so happy. It's something I can look at and be like, you know what, I did this. I did something. And I can imagine looking at this stuff in like 30 years time, when I'm sure I won't be doing YouTube anymore, but I can just sit back and I'll have like a box of products, I'm gonna cry, that I could just look at and be like, you know what, I did something cool. A story to tell, right? So it's stuff that I will never get rid of. It's not about the product themselves, but the stories that they hold. Now, especially because I do have a Too Faced product that I've kept for a very long time. This is a very old Too Faced product. So this is the Kitty Glitter Glamorous Glitter Dust in Catfight. So I actually found this at a drugstore, of all places, Lawton's Drug Mart in Canada. I bought it like my first year of university. I remember hanging out, the drugstore is pretty close to my university, and during breaks I used to walk down to the drugstore, browse makeup sections, just browse around, buy some magazines. And I remember seeing this near the cosmetics counter, and I full on flipped. I had only ever read about Too Faced in my magazines. I had never actually seen a single Too Faced product in person before, and I flipped out completely, saw the glitter sitting there, and I was like, I don't even care. I have to buy this. I used my lunch money for the day, and I bought this glitter and said, that's everything about who I am as a person. And I bought this glitter, and I used to wear it out when I would go to karaoke. I would just have glitter all over my eyes. It was so much fun, and it was something that made me so happy. I just love glitter. I'm a very glittery person, and to have found this product at that point and being so excited and like carrying it around with me everywhere and just like sprinkling a little bit of glitter on me whenever I felt a little down, it works. It really does work. It's something that I've kept for so long that even if I don't use it any longer, it makes me feel good. So that tied with the other Too Faced things, I'm just like, 19-year-old Elle would be losing her freaking mind over all this stuff if she actually knew, like, you know, sometimes I wish I could go back and tell myself stuff. You know, the young girl who was pretending to be like an easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, the one who would be reading the magazines and circling the beauty products and making dream lists of makeup that she wanted to buy at some point, who envied the people who did the like road tests on products, who got to review things, who was like, oh, I wish I could do that. You know, if I could go back and tell that girl, hey, you know what, someday you are gonna get the nerve, you are going to get it together enough to kind of do it on your own, and you are gonna have so much fun. And I just think she'd be so happy. And speaking of something that former Elle, like fetus Elle, would be so excited about, this glitter from Lit Cosmetics. This is the Cher holographic glitter. Praise the Lord. This stuff did not exist when I was in high school, because I would have worn it all over my entire body every single day. I've told this story before about how I would just go to school with a full face of glitter and nothing else. Let me tell you, if I had my hands on this stuff, I would. I full on am obsessed with Cher. My first memory, as I've said before, is of seeing the Cher If I Could Turn Back Time music video. So Cher was my whole life. I often said like, oh my Cher instead of oh my God, and like everybody who knew me back then knew how much I loved Cher. So this glitter is just, I have to do this for like former Elle. I just have to like sprinkle a little glitter on my face. That's amazing. I feel I feel like that was not a good idea, and I will regret that tremendously later, trying to take it all off, but at the same point I'm like, it's Cher glitter. This is who I am. This is who I am, and I will never, ever, ever get rid of this glitter because of the name of it, basically. But yes, I mean, former Elle would be so disappointed if I ever got rid of something called Cher. Speaking of things I've been obsessed with, I still have 2 products from the MAC and Marilyn Monroe collection from a long time ago, what, many moons ago. I actually still have the boxes they came in, their decoration in my room. Big Marilyn Monroe fan. I have a Marilyn Monroe picture in my room. I've had Marilyn Monroe pictures in my room for as long as I can remember. I really admire her from everything that I've read. There are so many layers to her as a person, things that always get overlooked. So many people judge Marilyn on surface qualities and they don't really delve further in, and I read pretty much every single piece of information, every book, everything that has ever come out about Marilyn I've read. I'm a super fan, and so when this collection came out I had to buy stuff. This was at a time when I wasn't purchasing stuff online. I just didn't really feel comfortable doing it, and I didn't get to the store until really late on release day. There wasn't much stuff left. So I got an eyeshadow and a lip gloss, but the point is it's a Marilyn collection. It's also MAC products, which I really love, but the reason why I would never get rid of these, why I would never declutter these, is because it's a Marilyn collection. So this is sort of similar to the Too Faced stuff, but I have a couple of things that Givenchy has sent me, and I really don't expect to continue to be getting products from brands. I don't know how I ever got them to begin with, but it's just something that, you know, it makes me feel something inside, and it makes me feel like, you know, maybe I am on the right track. And so I have 2 lipsticks here. They're gorgeous casing. I got this one recently, this one with this beautiful floral print that I could just stare at forever. And it's just like the Too Faced stuff. It just makes me feel like I have accomplished maybe a little bit of something, and it's something that I will tuck away when I'm not using anymore, and you know, I will look back on fondly in my golden years. I can really see myself keeping this stuff for my entire life. I'll just pull out this shoebox from underneath my bed and be telling my grandchildren about like that time when I did this thing on the internet and look at what I got. I will do that. The last thing I want to talk about is an eyeshadow from Dior. This is a hot mess of an eyeshadow. It's called Sequins, and you can see how dirty this packaging is. This is an eyeshadow that I bought when I went to London, and that was 5 years ago now. This is a glittery mess, but it's beautiful. I had to go to so many different stores trying to track down this eyeshadow because I swatched a tester in, maybe it was Harrods. It was one of those like big fancy department stores, and they didn't have any left. And I was going around every single place that sold Dior trying to find this eyeshadow because it became my mission when I was there. Every store that I saw a Dior sign in, I had to go in, and eventually I found this eyeshadow, and I will never get rid of it because it made me so happy. I wore it so much when I was there, even just as an inner corner like pop of glitter. I did put it on all over my lid, but it's the kind of thing that just like rains glitter down my face. Obviously, I'm not a person who minds that, but sometimes it's not intentional. There's the difference between intentionally splashing yourself with glitter and then having glitter kind of run down and like smudging eyeliner and mascara and stuff. It just reminds me of how much fun I had finding that eyeshadow and just how much fun I had on that trip in general. It's definitely one of the coolest things I've ever been able to do because I love traveling, but I never get to do it much, and that was just such an amazing trip, and I can't wait to travel again and get more memories and more stuff that I can just, you know, hang on to and just remember. You know, I think with all of these things, they all have such special stories attached to them that if I have just this little tiny small box of products that I can pull out and think, you know what, this reminds me of this time when I was in London. This reminds me when I did this on YouTube. This reminds me of this. And it it really makes me happy to think about. And I like that there's not a whole lot of stuff. I like that there's just a very small group of products that kind of weave together a very interesting portion of my life. And it's all very positive. It all makes me feel like invigorated and very happy. I'm feeling great tonight. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please go check out Lisa's channel, and thank you so much, Lisa, for collaborating with me. This has really just been the best possible thing ever. I'm geeking out and I'm so happy. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Let me know what products you would keep forever. What things would you never ever declutter and why? Anyway, that's all from me, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.